All right. Hey, all of you, my first time Apex Trader funding folks out there, those of you that are wanting to get started with NinjaTrader and trying to figure out this kind of difficult process in the beginning. I'm not going to lie. When you start with Apex and you start using NinjaTrader, whether you have traded on other platforms before or you are just getting started in the space, it's a little complicated. There's a lot of steps, there's a lot of different pieces, and it's confusing and it's hard at times. So I'm going to do my very best to walk you through a large funnel of information and try and condense it down as much as possible. There's going to be a lot of other resources and things and guides that I'm going to talk about here in this video that you can, use as well. And I'll expect you to, do your research and check out those things as well, because I can't cover it all in a short little video like I'm doing right now. But I'm going to do my very best to get you on the path and kind of get you to know some of the tips and tricks in the beginning, right? To get you on the path that you need to be in order to be using the KPLs on a daily basis. And again, know where the resources are. This is more of like an overview video to help you to know where the resources are so that you can be successful in trading and getting started, because again, it's a little complex. So let's get started. I'm going to switch over and switch over my screen here real quick. When you get started with NinjaTrader, you're going to download the platform and everything. We're going to open up the web browser here, and I'm going to kind of walk through these steps a little bit quickly, but basically, here we go. We'll open up here. You'll get to the Apex Trader funding page. You'll have logged in, you'll have chosen your account, you should know all these things and be through this step where you've signed up with your account, obviously using my link and everything. You get 50% off the price of these things. Then they also sometimes do sales where you get an additional 30% off. So you should be very familiar with all of these things. When we're talking about, symbols, this is something I'm going to briefly touch on in the course. In the course, I talk a lot more about individually, what do all of these things mean? Because this is very foreign. Even if you traded stocks before, power of leverage with trading futures is very different in terms of how you calculate your P&L, your profit and loss. What is a tick? What is a point? There's a lot to this, and I don't want to spend this entire video really deep diving into all of those things. If you want a little bit more information on these things, long story short, there's more information in the course, and there are free courses as well in Discord. So if you go into Discord here and you want to learn what are those ticker symbols, you can go in here to mini course in the free chat section. You don't even have to be a paying member of YMI to get this stuff. But if you go in here, I would say check out the Benzinga one, which is right here, number 4. Test your futures knowledge with this free futures course and quizzes. So if you don't have the course and you want to take a really, really good course, this is a really good course that will cover everything you'll need to know and more about futures in general, understanding the ticker symbols and those kinds of things that we have right here. But I would again highly recommend this one right here. What are futures? Watching this would be another good piece of info. And you can always message me and chat with me, obviously, if you're in the group, and I can help answer other questions and things like that. This right here, this video guides section, is also going to be a really good source of information and knowledge for you. We'll click on that, and here it is. NinjaTrader new user video guides. There are lots of very short, minute 50, 220, 320, very short videos that you can go in here, getting started, how to get your data feed connected, creating a chart, ATM, advanced trade management. This is a really important video here. I really like this section. So this is one that I will be referring to here in this video several times to kind of help get you started and get you going. In fact, I had this tab already open, didn't know I was going to click on it right there. But let's go back here to Apex Trader funding. Long story short, for those of you that are going to be getting started, you probably already know you're going to be trading the MES, which is the micro E-mini S&P 500 futures contract. Every point that it moves, it's worth $5. So if it goes up or down and you have one contract by 1 point, it's worth $5. But the increments, it doesn't move by 1 point at a time. It moves by a quarter point at a time, or one tick, which is 0.25. So what does all that mean? We'll get into that here in a second when we pull up NinjaTrader and get a chart and everything going. But don't fret on that front. Now, next thing here though is on the homepage. Whether you're logged in or not, we'll scroll all the way up here to the top, and you will go to the FAQ section. Again, I had FAQs open, I believe. Yeah, how to set up your keys to NinjaTrader. So you're going to click on the FAQ section here on the home page. You're going to go to you're going to get this page loaded up here. I would expect you to really have gone through, a lot of these videos, because as you're getting started again, all the resources are here. It will dramatically help you from blowing up accounts. You won't blow up accounts as likely or as frequently if you know the rules, if you know all of the ins and outs of the established rules, right? So as you get to this page, you're gonna have downloaded NinjaTrader, and you're gonna go step 1, connect to Rhythmic, and you are going to connect to Rhythmic. There is a download for Rhythmic Trader Pro. So you're going to have this open alongside NinjaTrader. But before we get to that, you're going to want to go through these videos, and you're going to go how to connect to Rhythmic, right? You're going to walk through the 7-minute video. You're going to get Rhythmic. You're going to go through this step of getting it connected and everything. Step 2 is setup keys and connection in NinjaTrader 8. This video is going to be very important because it's going to help you get, your license key, and you're also going to get your data connected to the platform. Now, why am I not walking you through this step by step? Couple reasons. First reason, I don't want to show you my license key. And second off, I don't want to show you my password and everything for Rhythmic. But what will happen is you will, when you log into your account, you click login, and on your home page, you're going to see the videos will walk you through all this. It'll give you your username, it'll give you your password. And what you are going to do is, once you have NinjaTrader downloaded, you're going to open it up, and it's going to look basically just like this. You're going to have just this bar down here. And this is kind of like your start menu. Within this start menu, you're going to have a lot of different things. You're going to have the ability, this is where you can add your chart. That's if you go new, and you can add that there. You're also going to have in tools, you're going to have a lot of other different things that you may or may not need. You're not going to really need to know about any of this stuff that's in the tools section. But what you're going to do is you're going to also see, we'll go through all this. You're going to have a workspaces. So you can have different workspaces or different charts and layouts and configurations. In fact, I can open this up and I have a different workspace that has a bunch of different charts. I'll open it up here and you can see all of my different charts and different things like that. I don't want to overload you too much, but this can get very robust and can be very, maybe complicated is a good word for it. But you're going to start out here, nothing else but this menu bar here. Down here, you're going to have your orders, your executions tab. This will show you where your trades, all the lists of all your trades. If you have strategies, which is like automated strategies and things like that, which you won't in the beginning. That is all right here. Positions, if you have any positions open, they will show right here. They'll show the profit and loss. It'll show you what price you got in, the number of contracts you're trading. All that good stuff will be right here. Log is going to be a log of all your trades that you've taken, and then accounts is going to show you, every single one of your accounts. Fairly simple, straightforward. But what you're going to do here in help is where you're going to enter your license key. Now, again, the license key is going to be it's going to be on Apex, so you can get your license key on there, and you will enter your license key in here. You'll click that, you'll copy it from the website, you'll paste it right here, and after opening this, and then you'll have your license key entered. Now, I'm not going to show you mine because mine is a different license key as well than what I have for Apex. And then I'm trying to think of anything else you'll need to really know in here. There is a video guides section, so you can click on this, and that is also going to take you to this. Again, I keep hammering on this section because it's really great. This gives you very short, quick videos on setting up a chart and all those things. We're going to cover a few of those things. There is charting videos. Again, there is orders, there is workspace settings, ATM strategies. This is an important one to know as well. And going along with this, the other piece of information is if you are a member of YMI Live or YMI Premium, you can go to the educational section, which is right here. And if you're going to start down at the bottom, it's about September 11th, September 10th. So today is currently October 8th. So if you scroll up about a month ago, Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You're going to have a few other videos. And I created some free resources on ATM strategy, and that's automated trade management, I believe, or automatic trade management, one or the other, right? There's a few videos that I would recommend watching. The reason why I'm recommending that you take a look at some of those videos, and I know we're nowhere near ready to talk about that yet, but it's because trading key price levels is meant to be a very hands-off, automated approach to trading or day trading. You know, most of the time when people talk about day trading, they're talking about scalping. They're in a position for maybe, 10, 20 seconds to 10 to 20 minutes. They're not in for very long, and they're like in and out. I don't believe that that's the most profitable way to do things. I also don't believe that it's the most realistic opportunity or way to do things for most people, because you have jobs, you have children, you have school, you have things to do. And what's really cool about NinjaTrader is that you have tools like the ATM strategy and different things like that, that with key price levels, right? What you can do is you can have the orders on. And I obviously have algorithms that I've spent tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars on to develop and build, and hopefully I'll be able to open up the opportunity for you guys to use some of those things in the future. But automating the process, not using the labor intensive, it's not super labor intensive where you have to be at the charts all the time. That is my goal for all of you. And I think you tend to not overcomplicate and cut winners too early and hold losers too long. And I don't want to get all too deep into the weeds with all that, but I would recommend coming in here to the educational section, and you're going to want to know a little bit more about ATM management, automated trade management, and that kind of stuff. But before we get into that too deep again, you're also going to need to, after you have entered your license key, you're also, and all of these steps, I keep jumping back and forth here, all of these steps are in Apex on how to do all of these things, right? And how to get it all set up. But going back here, once you've entered your license key, and you're also going to get your data feed connected. So one of the things that's a little bit different than if you were to do this on TD Ameritrade, or if you were to do this on E-Trade, or on any of these other platforms, usually what you have is you have your platform, you have your data feed, and you have your brokerage account all in one, and you didn't even know that they were different. With NinjaTrader is simply, on the surface level, just a platform, a place. Think of it like a piece of software, like a computer game, where you can place your trades. That is what it is for. But how do you place trades? Where are you getting the information from? That is your data feed or your data provider. Now, without Apex, you can purchase different data providers, and you pay a monthly fee for that. If you are paying for your Apex account, they include the data feed and the fee included in that monthly cost. So you just have to connect your data feed to your platform, and you will also have a brokerage account normally. Now, I have my live accounts on here as well, and I have two data feeds, because one data feed is for my live accounts, for my personal accounts, and then one for Apex and for my Apex accounts, right? So what you're going to do though is you're going to see a couple connections here in the connections tab. And what you're going to do, these will not likely be here, or nothing will be connected. And you're going to go in here and you're going to go to configure. Now in configure, you're going to likely go to Rhythmic, because that's what you're going to be using, right? And you're going to go Rhythmic for NinjaTrader brokerage. Double click that. It's going to drop down into the configured window, and you're going to copy and paste from Apex your username and password, and all of this setup process, everything that you're going to need to set up right here, is included or talked about in these videos. So you should be at this point understanding where everything is at. You know, you're to this point, right? We're going to remove that since I already have one, but you should be all connected up, set, ready to roll. And now from this point forward, we're going to talk about getting your chart set up. So we're going to go in here. Let's say you have never set anything up before. This is a brand new platform. It's a brand new everything. We're going to walk through this. So what you're going to do is your data feed is now connected, and you can use a drop down, and all of these are not going to be in here for you at first. You're going to probably see cryptocurrency, DAX 30, Dow 30, Forex, futures. And futures does not even show all of the ticker symbols that you might be looking for. We're going to be setting up a chart for the S&P 500. Now this shows all of the stocks on the S&P 500. So this shows a lot of different information, basically, is what I'm trying to get at here. But what you're going to do, if you have the drop down and you don't find the ticker or the ticker that you're looking for, and what do I mean by ticker that you're looking for? If we go back here to Apex and we're going to scroll down here and we are looking for, let's say, the micro E-mini S&P 500 contract, the ticker symbol, if we scroll up to the very top, symbol. So here's the name of what we're wanting to trade. This is the symbol. You don't really need to know much about what the exchange is, and we won't talk about tick size and all that stuff yet, but okay, there we go. So we're going to scroll back down here and we're going to go back to the MES. Where is MES? There's the micros. And we're going to set up a chart for MES, right? That's the first one we want to put on here. So we're going to type in MES. We're going to see a list of all, or you can do futures, and you can click just futures right there, and it will show you the contract. If you just have it on all right here, still same thing. Future, MES, micro, E-mini, S&P 500 futures. We're going to click that, right? Or double click that. Now, yours might look a little bit different, might look very similar. What you're going to do here is you're going to leave it on last minute, and we're going to choose a value. Let's just say we want 5-minute candles or bars. We're going to do 5 minutes. You do not need to turn on tick replay. Number of days you want to load up likely will be 5. We could do 10 for now, but you know, we'll do whatever. We'll go. Oh, that was really weird. We'll go back here. We'll enter 10 days. We're going to start it on, or the end date is our current date. The trading hours. Now, this confused me a lot at the very beginning. I was like, holy cow. I cannot believe there are so many different exchanges. There's different trading. Like, what does all of this mean? Don't worry right now. You don't really need to understand or know the ins and outs of all these things. I cover more of the ins and outs and these details in the course. But what we're going to do here is we're just going to leave it on use instrument settings. So it's going to use whatever the general time frame is for the micro E-mini S&P 500 futures contract. That is a mouthful, right? We're going to leave break at end of day. We're going to leave it on candlestick. We're going to leave the bar width at 3. Actually, we're going to make the bar width. We're going to leave it at 2 here. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'll zoom this out a little bit. And then you're going to go to, in fact, let's zoom this up a little bit. We're going to leave the candle body outline. You can change all of these things. In fact, I like to change this so that I don't see red and green. I will usually change these to like red is black, and this will be like light blue. And you can scroll down here and change the color of the bars. Let's not get too stuck in the weeds right now. But you can do and change all of these things right here, and I'll show you how to change it on the chart as well. We're going to leave auto scale on. These are just visual like changes for the charts. You'll see it in a little bit, but we're just going to leave everything, you know, pretty much the same here. You can erase this so it doesn't show the name, but like I said, let's keep it very basic for starters. When you place an order, you will see that on your chart. If that gets annoying to you, you can turn on you can turn it where it does not plot any of your orders, or you can also turn it to where it only does the markers. It doesn't show all of the data. It probably doesn't make sense right now, but there's a lot of little changes that can be made right here in the data series box. So we're just going to hit OK. And we're going to get our first chart created. Now, what's cool about the NinjaTrader platform is you can shrink these up. You can, have one window right here, and we can create another window as well. So I could go in here and I could also go new, and I could go chart, and I could go, if I wanted to trade Bitcoin, the ticker symbol for Bitcoin is MBT. There we go, is MBT. How did I know that it was MBT? Well, if I went to this list here on Apex, I went down here, micro Bitcoin MBT, and I have that information. So I just type in MBT right there. Bada bing, bada boom. I can get, let's say I want like a 15-minute bar, because this keyboard situation is ridiculous. Because I want 15-minute candles, right? I want it to load 5 minutes of data, etc., etc., and I can go okay. There we go. In fact, actually, I don't know if is my data connected? Yeah, data's connected. Why did it not? Oh, I know why. Okay, so here's a good example. So I didn't actually finish the ticker symbol. So see how this says MES 1222. That's the contract month for when the contract expires. It expires in December of 2022. I didn't do that for MBT. I just typed in MBT and was good. What I need to do is type in MBT, and then I need to double click. Double clicking got me to here now. Now it's the 10/22. These contracts expire monthly, and they will need to be rolled over. We'll talk about rollovers and all those kinds of things in a separate video. But now I have my data feed and I have my chart for MBT pulled up, right? So now I have a chart for MBT, I have a chart for MES, and I have my I call it my start menu down here. So we're in a pretty good place. We're set up so far. You have the chart trader on here on the side. And if we wanted to place an order, and in fact, we can do one of two things as well. You can minimize this. You can then pull this over, and you have a full chart up here. You could also take this and drag it all the way down so that it fills up your entire chart or your entire screen. You could also do it where, you do the regular, use the regular maximize window, right? And have it right there. It's very customizable, essentially, is what I'm trying to get at. But now that we have our MES, chart up here, couple different things that I would have liked to have known when I was first starting. The first thing is on your keyboard, if you are using your mouse and you want to scroll in and out, you can use your left click on your mouse, drag, and you can shrink and see more data or less data, right? You can also shrink it this way, up and down. And you can also drag. You can't drag up and down, but you can drag left and right. How do you drag up and down? You hold down the control button on your keyboard, and then you can drag up, down, side to side. That's something I wish I knew in the very beginning. Very simple, very easy, but hold the control button down and then left click, and you can move up, down, side to side, and then readjust the way things are on your charts. Now, another thing I would do, like I said, as you're getting started here, what if you want to know where the break of day is? One of the things you can do here is you can go to data series. There's different icons up here. First thing you want to know is chart style. You can change this from candlesticks to candlesticks that are wider or thinner based on the amount of volume those particular candles have. You can make them hollow. You can have lines. There is so many different things you can do. We're going to leave regular candlesticks for now. If you go over here to the drawings menu, it's quite robust. There's a lot of information here as well. You can use a ruler, risk reward. This is always really great if you're wanting to know what is your risk. Let's say this is your risk and what was your reward. I guess that worked. That works too. You can, if you want to delete this or if you want to move it, you can click on it. You can increase it. You can shrink it. And you can also, if you go in here for risk reward, there we go. Risk reward. There you go. You can draw multiples on the chart. One of the other things too, I was going to mention is that to delete it, you just right click on it and then hit the delete button on your keyboard. So any of these drawings here, you can shrink them, increase them, etc., and then you can just delete them as well. If you want to draw a line on the chart, you can do line. They also have hotkeys for different ones, and you can actually program them for whatever you want. I mean, you can do all that stuff here within the menu. You probably won't use this a bunch when you're first starting out, but you have that tool, so you know where to find them. The next thing you have up here is the zoom. Doesn't really do much. I guess you can zoom in on a particular area just like that. I don't use this, honestly, this tool very often. Okay, there you zoomed out. I don't know. I don't ever use this. This is important though. If you have the cursor off, look, I can still move my chart around. I like to go in here though, and I go to local because then my cursor turns into this crosshair type section. This to me is helpful. I like the lines because then on this right hand side I can see the price lined up with the time when my cursor is at a specific area, right? I can see what time and I can see over here what that is. You can also right click on the chart here, and you have a lot of these same options up here. You can go in here and you can change the time interval. You can change the instrument that you're looking at, but what you can also do, and you can also make a purchase. You can hit the buy or the sell button, right clicking on the chart. You can go to your drawing tools here as well, but you can also add another tab to individual windows. So I could do one. MNQ is the micro NASDAQ futures. Double click on that. We're just going to leave this all the same, right? Maybe I'll switch this to 5. Let's go with 5. Hit OK. And now I can have the MNQ, micro NASDAQ up here. And I can also have a tab here for MES. Also then shrink this down. And now we have our 2 charts, etc. And you can also have multiple tabs or different tabs on each of these windows. So that's another helpful kind of like starter thing to know. You can go in here and you can choose the account that you want to see. So if you have your sim account, and you'll also have your live account. So those are important to see. You can slide these things over. You can do all sorts of cool, interesting things all from this section right here. And then if we pull this over here, you have your buy market, sell market, buy at the ask, sell at the ask, buy at the bid, sell at the bid. And then I don't even know what rev is, honestly. Close, you can close out your entire position if you're in a position, and that will just get you out automatically. Now, from here, you can also create an ATM strategy. Now, this is important. What you would do is you can go in here and you can create a strategy. You would go custom, and you can create one of these. You can create an ATM strategy. All of that stuff on how to create these is going to be in Discord as well. So you can watch a video in here. It'll get you rolling, get you going. And from there, I'm trying to think what else you're going to really need to know now that you have a chart up on your screen. You have the ability and know how to place orders. One of the things, the way that I place orders using this chart trader is again, using this cursor, will right click on a specific area. And if price is above, I can do a buy limit order, and I can place an order, a limit order. If you don't know what the difference is between a market order and a limit order, again, watch the videos in the course. There's the free videos as well. But what's cool about this is when the market is moving, you can move this limit order up or down. And if price comes down to it, your order will get filled, you'll be entered, etc., etc. But you can also place an order above it by using what is called a stop market or a stop limit order. Let's say we wanted to place a buy stop order up here. It'll ask you how many contracts you want. You could go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can go down here and we can do 1 contract. And you can place that up there as well. What's nice is you can then left click on it and you can drag it down, drag it up, move it around, and have those orders here on the chart. To cancel these, and that's so that they are there even if you're not at the computer. Now we can close those orders out. I'm going to pull this up and make this a little bit bigger for you. One of the other things that is kind of important to know since you're getting started is how do you create an OCO order? And what you would do here is you're going to right click in this little blue section over here, and you're going to go OCO order. You're going to get this little green OC up here, and you might be going, okay, Cameron, what is an OCO order? An OCO order means order cancels the other, meaning you are going to place 2 orders on a chart. If one order gets hit, the other order gets canceled. What kind of circumstance would I want an OCO order for? Well, let's say that we're trading in a channel, right? There is a defined channel, and if we break out to the top, I want to go long. But if we break out, if we break down further, I want to go short, right? What you can do is you can right click on the chart. Let's say at 11,042, I want a order to go short. So I would do a sell, let's say I do a sell stop market order down here. And let's say if I want a breakout to the upside here at 11,136.75, I would do a sell market if touched, is what MIT stands for. And these are both market orders. We can talk about the difference between a market order and a limit order in another video. Those are in the course. And now I have 2 separate orders. Now, if I want to clear out of OC, I'm going to go down here, right click in here again, and I'm going to close that. So now I'm no longer placing OCO orders. And I have these 2 orders though that are placed on the chart. And if the market moves up or down, it's going to eventually, when it gets to those prices, it will trigger an order and it will get into one of those positions. Great, important, helpful information that you want. And again, OCO means that if one of these is hit, it'll cancel the other order out. Now, generally speaking, what you'll want to do with an OCO order too is you'll want to have an ATM order attached to both of these, so that when you do get one of those orders filled, you're going to obviously then have some sort of risk management attached to those trades. And if you don't know 100% what I mean, that's okay. Again, more videos in the course and everything that kind of go over that, and you're going to learn when we're in chat and everything, right? So you have your OCO orders. Those are important to know. I'm trying to think of anything else. I closed one out. You notice how they both cleared out. That's because they were tied together. And I think that is really pretty much the gist of everything when it comes to getting started in NinjaTrader. You know how to get your chart set up. You know how to change the ticker symbol. Actually, if you go up here, we can change this. If you want to change this to the ES, or let's say you want to change it to a different one, who knows, let's choose another gold. So if we want to change it to gold, GC would be the ticker symbol, right? We want to change this to GC. We're going to type GC, and we know it's futures, gold futures, double click, boom. and it will give you the date, the most current date or current dated contract up here. So that's a way that you don't have to know exactly what date you want, the contract to be. You just need to know the ticker symbol, and then you can enter it there. And that is pretty much the gist of everything that I feel like we need to cover in this video. I know this video was long. I know there was a lot of information in it. If you have questions as you're reviewing this video, please reach out to me. I want to give you the best experience that you possibly can have. I know that there's a lot of things to like sift through, and you're learning. You're going to probably go through different pieces of this video at different times and go, oh, I didn't fully understand that the first time. Now I understand it the second time. If there's, like I said, if there's any other questions along the way, I hope those resources help. Always reach out to me as well. I'm going to get this video posted because I promised I would post it like a week and a half ago. And I will post it with some of these other resources. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm excited to get you going in futures. The one other thing actually I can think of, and this is actually the really important thing, is how do you draw key price levels, or how would you work with those? What you would do here, this is probably the most important thing, right? Go in here, you're going to go to the daily trade plan, right? Or if you're in the elite chat, and it's every day you have your elite KPLs that are going to be over in here, and you're going to have a few more tickers and some other goodies and such, right? But here you're going to have the ES, NQ, and MBT KPLs, right? Let's say we wanted to put the KPLs on here for Friday for the ES. What we would do, or what I would do, we'll put that over there. I would take my chart, pull my chart down a little bit more, and this button right here, fixed scale, will just zoom everything out a little bit more, get you to the instrument here. And if you don't know what day you're on, just zoom out a little bit more and it'll tell you like October 7th down here. So what you would do is you're going to go draw the key price levels on here. So I would take the first one, I would go up here to the drawing tab here, or you could also right click, right? And I'm just going to create a line, and starting, if this was for October 7th, I would start it. The day starts at 1700 hours. So roughly at 1700 hours at 37. So, this is on MNQ. So actually we need to switch over here, right? We are going to zoom out here, and we are going to go, there we go, October 7th. We're going to go to 1700 hours because that is when the day starts. So there we go, 1700 right here is where the day starts. And we're going to draw, let's just draw the first couple. So let's just actually do 3783.25. So you can right click on the chart, actually go drawing tools, and then go line. And you're going to go over here to 1700 hours, and we're going to draw 3783, 37, go up here, 3783.25, and we're just going to place it right there. And then we're going to draw it to the end of day, which is roughly 1500 hours. And this is Central Time. I leave my charts on Central Time. Even though I'm not in the Central Time location, that's where the Chicago Mercantile Exchange is at, or the CME. And so I use Chicago time. You can change that as well. I believe here in the, it's actually a really good question. I don't know exactly where you change your timing. I think it's options. Go tools, options. Yep, right here. You go time zone, and you can change the time zone that you want your charts to be in. So they don't have to be the same as your computer, even though my computer is in Chicago. But yeah, you can change your chart timing as well. So we have line 1 drawn. We're going to draw the second line on here, though. We're going to go drawing tools. We're going to go line, and then we are going to draw one at 3695.5. So we go over here, 36 95. We're going to left click and then we're going to drag. There we go. And so we have those lines drawn, and we could continue to add, obviously, and draw the other lines and everything on here. 36.72. Should we draw the other one? What was that? 36.95. 36.72 would be like down here. We could draw it, but we don't have to. We're just going to draw 2 KPLs for right now, because none of this would be here, right, during the day. Since we're drawing for the future. But so you're going to get your KPLs drawn. You have your KPLs drawn. Now you're going to draw your buffer zones. Now, depending on what you want your slope to be or whatever, if you ask me what direction is my slope of my buffer zone, you can do this 2 separate ways or 2 different ways. You can draw your buffer zone like a rectangle. Let's see here. I can draw like a highlight region Y. You could draw like a buffer zone that was, like 6 points above, 6 points below. So 36.95. I mean, you could draw one that starts like up here and then goes down to here. You could draw like a buffer zone similar to that. Or and you don't have to actually, I mean, this one's extended out. You can just draw like, a zone, but you could do it that way. Or the other option, we're going to backspace, we're going to delete that. The other way to do it is how I draw my buffer zones, which is I use asymmetrical or symmetrical wedges. And so what I do is you can right click on the chart here. You go drawing tools, you're going to draw a line. And so this one I'm going to start, let's say I want to have a positive slope. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to draw it from 95.5 and I'm going to do 12 points up over here. So 36.95.5 plus 12 is 3707.5, right? 3707.5. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. So I'm going to go drawing tools and I'm going to go line and I'm going to go start here at the wedge and then I'm going to go down. So 3695.5 minus 12 would be 83.5, right? So 83.5. And that is my buffer zone. So how do I, and that's how I will get these drawn. How do I end up trading this? That is a great question, right? And we could do this. We should probably do this up here on the very top one as well. We're going to go drawing tools. We're going to go line. We're going to do the same thing. Let's actually do an opposite direction. Let's say, so this is a positive slope, right? Because it's ascending as you go throughout time. Let's do a negative slope. So what would a negative slope look like? Negative slope would look like this. It would actually start here at 36.85, something like that. 36.83, so it'd be 93, 95 point something. I'm not going to be perfect at this, but you'll cut me a break, I'm sure. So we'll draw one line, and again we're going to go 12 points down on the other. We're going to go line, and then this is 83.25. I forget if that's the exact KPL, but 83.5 minus 12 is 71.25. And now you have 2 KPLs. You have one KPL that has a negative slope, right? Because as you go on throughout time from left to right, it's descending. And then over here you have an ascending or positive slope KPL buffer zone with your KPL and your buffer zone. So over here, technically you would have an entry right here. You wouldn't know this because when you're drawing your KPLs, price is just starting. You would have no idea, what's going to happen throughout time. But what would happen is you can trade them a multitude of different ways. And I don't want to get into all the nitty gritty details of trading key price levels right here and now. But there's 2 separate ways. You can have one way where you wait to get in when it touches the key price level, or you can just have an order waiting in the general vicinity to obviously get short on the bottom of the wedge or the bottom of the buffer zone and going long at the top. You know what? The very simple, basic part without talking about a bunch of strategy and a bunch of different things like volume and price action and all those things that we talk about in the course. We go long on the upper portion of a buffer zone. So this is the upper portion of the buffer zone up here. This is the upper portion of the buffer zone on this one. And this is where you would, and you go short below. So short on anywhere down here on this line, and you would go short anywhere along here on this line when it touches, right? So for example, in this particular trade, ideally you would have gotten short right here, been able to ride this beautiful move down. I mean, we're talking about a move of 70 points to the downside. And then what you would do is you can do one of two things. You can take profits at the buffer zone. You could take profits on the way down, or what you can do is you can take profits at the key price level. And then once you take profits here, you're again looking to re-enter on either side. Now, because price continued to go down, you know, you would have exited here and then been looking for a short anywhere right in here along the buffer zone of the key price level. And then from there, you're writing this thing down and you're looking for other key levels or key prices to take profits at. And one good example of that, we'll swap over here. What do I mean by other key prices? We're going to have to pull up my other workspace if it'll load up here for me. And I'll pull this up and I'll pull this up. And this is just another chart, has some of my automated, this is some of my personal indicators that I've built and things like that. But as you can see, we ended up, you know, having a key price level down here. And that was important. I'm trying to think of anything else really that, yeah, I can't say anything else that was really super important on October. So October 7th, or was that 8th? Yeah, I think it was, today's the 8th, so 7th. But anyway, you can use other key levels that we post about as places to take profits. Essentially, that is the gist of everything. Swap over back to our original workspace here, and there you have it. That is trading key price levels in a nutshell, and getting your chart set up. So that's a lot of information. I can't believe this video is nearly an hour long. That's a lot to soak in and to digest. But if you have any other questions, let me know. And I'm excited because, like I said, it is it's an information overload. There's so much that you're taking in, so much that you're learning. Even for me, when I was starting, I was like, I've been trading for forever, but this platform has so much, and it's so much to learn. You know, can I do it? I mean, I knew I could do it, but you can do it too. You have me here. You have the group. You have the community. Let's get you, rolling. And if you need anything else, let me know, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.